Hey YouTube, and welcome to JC Cards. I'm back with another video. This is my Numeron deck profile that I'm going to be showcasing. It's the newest deck I've picked up and something I've been really enjoying playing. It's an OTK deck. It kills your opponent really easily, has lots of good matchups in the meta because it has so much space. The main engine, I think, is only 18 cards, and a lot of those cards are optional. Which means you can really compensate for any decks in the meta. It's got no bad matchups really, just because any deck can be, you can build your main deck for any opposition. And something I need to address. So I haven't produced a video in a very long time. It's about 2 or 3 months. It's 2 months now. And this is why. So I've been really busy with work, etc. And I've got lots of stuff I've needed to do. Also, I haven't really been enjoying doing YouTube as much. Just not something I've found as rewarding, and I'd like to stop that trend of not putting out content, and this is the restart of content on this channel. I'll try to continue to do content every week, and I'll give you updates if that changes. So to start with the deck for that one. Firstly, I'm not doing it as a standard monster spells and traps. I'm sort of doing it in a way that sort of better lays out the cards. So first you've got the engine. Triple Numeron Wall, Triple Numeron Network, and 2 Numeron Calling. This is the deck's main engine. This gets access to this, which gets access to this. You need this to find some way to have this in your opening hand, so you can get out your gates and OTK. So this you can send from hand or field to grave if you control no other monsters except itself, except monsters with the same name. So you can have a Numeron Wall on field and send one from hand. This activates this from deck, so it can't be ashed. The only hand trap that really stops this engine, so this can be stopped by Gamma and this can be stopped by Ogre, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty much the only hand traps that affect the engine. So most of the engine cards in the deck are mainly to try and get access to this, because this gives you your first turn play and your OTK play. It's super crucial for the deck. This is also a battle fader, which means that if you are going first and your opponent destroys your first turn play, you can stop them from killing you and then kill them on the grab back. Now for the engine, the rest of the sort of consistency cards. So for the consistency cards, I've got 4 searches for the field spell, this and this. Field spell requires you to have no monsters on board, so this may seem like you normal summon this, but the effect this card tributes itself to search, so it doesn't interfere with restriction, and this is just a spell, so it doesn't have that problem. Now for the draw cards. So on the Triple Desires, the extra deck's actually surprisingly tight, so you can't really run. You could run Prosperity, but you can't really run Extravagance, and especially for going second decks, you usually want the extra cards, because a lot of the time to play against the top decks, you need as many cards in hands as possible. Then also this, it's not really a consistency card, it's more like a power card, but when you've got all of your gates on board, it allows you to draw 4 cards. It's really strong. Then you've got hand traps, so Triple Gamma, Driver, Triple Veiler, Triple Crow. So this is my hand trap lineup. I'm running sort of, you could call it 9 or 10 hand traps, so sort of like 9 or 10 hand trap cards. So this I often don't use as a hand trap, really. I use it as more like a quick play spell card, so I make sure my plays resolve. It's sort of like a 4th call by the grave. second, third, and fourth copies of Call by the Grave, just to make sure your plays resolve. Often, if you're playing against certain comp decks and you don't open any other hand traps, you will need to use this as a hand trap. However, you often a lot of these cards, the rest of your deck, you want it to resolve to break your opponent's board, which actually do more than a hand trap will do in most matchups. So if you're going to make sure they resolve, you're going to win. That's why you play it. Then you've got Vader and Crow. These are more your traditional hand traps. This can really be anything. They're not really specific. You could run Ash, but maybe Ash and Bell could work as different choices. But I think these are the most generic. These are generic. These work in most matchups, and I'm reasonably happy with these choices in testing. I've then got triple Gamma Seal, double Lava Golem, and Pank. So Kaiju's obviously really strong, good against lots of decks. Lava Golem, I only run 2 copies because it is technically a normal summon. Although it special summons itself, it locks you from your normal summon. So that means, combined with the 3 Pathfinder, you've now got 5 normal summons, which is the optimum number. Pank, just insane going second card. How that card was at 3, I do not know. And then I do have 5 spaces for back decks. So Cosmic Cyclone, Harvey's Feather Duster, Red Reboot. These are just strong back row cards, and yeah, they're just really good. Finally, the 40th card, Call By. I already told you, but yeah, Call By, strong, allows your plays to go through. And that's it for the main deck. Now let's get to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm also going to do a side deck, just because the side deck in this is a lot more important than the side deck in a lot of other decks. Because often in going second decks, the side deck is incredibly important, because it just means that it allows you to go first. You need specific cards to allow you to go first, which obviously going second deck usually struggles with. Although you do have a lot of plays in this extra deck, so you've got 2 of each of the gates. It just gives you a play going first and a play going second. Then you made your play going first, then you can summon your cards going second and OTK your opponent. That's why you run 2 of each. And these are the decks. Access Code or Boral Sword. Now for the link monsters. I want 5 links. Phoenix, Unicorn, Megaclops, Apollosa, and Sayusha. So this is just your main link monsters. These 2 are just generically strong. Sometimes you'll need to, when you can't kill, you'll need to make one of these. This is good for popping problem back row, for example, like an Imperial Order or an anti-spell, which just means the deck can't play. A lot of the time you make these 2 with, for example, a Numeron Wall that you've special summoned, and a hand trap, one of these. And then often you'll climb into a Unicorn. Sometimes I've needed to climb into this to spin itself back to get monsters off the board, so you can use the network. This, and then these ones are for usually if you go first or don't OTK. So this is usually against combo. Use this against control decks, just to dig for your power cards in the matchup. And this is against rogue usually, because rogue decks often have a hard time outing it. If there's a specific matchup where you see this is good, summon it. Like, your opponent's not getting around it. This is the reason you can run Gamma, the Omega. So you summon the Gamma, and then to allow you to search this usually. But then you control monsters, so you can't activate it. You make the Omega, get rid of a card in your hand, means all your other plays can resolve, and you've got a recurring body for next turn, and you've looped a card, which is really strong. And then there's a final card in the extra deck. This is really a flex spot. You can really run anything here. I've gone with a bit of a out there choice, Entis. So a lot of the decks I'm playing at locals or in bigger tournaments, you're seeing a lot of Dogmatica variants. So this counters them. This is really strong. That's why I run it. And then for the side deck, a lot of the choices are subjective. However, you're getting from here like a general gist of what you're going to be running. So Lancia, Tri-Brigade, in my opinion, is the best deck this format. Even with the newer decks like Striker and Salamangreat coming into the meta. Not really newer, but like the decks that weren't in the meta previously. This isn't as good against them. However, it isn't good against Drytron, but it's good against Dogmatica. Like the Dogmatica should all invoke variants, and again, it's Tri-Brigade, so that's why I run it. Scythe and Triple Sanctum. That's why I run it too, because you can summon it from deck when you're going first, and this is just powerful. Overall, really strong. As you're going first cards. Then for more back row, I've got Tri-Brigade. Just back row removal on mass scale. You can run Lightning Storm, but I just don't really have the budget for it. And then finally, for more traps, different dimension ground, Tom Strike. Just your blowout trap cards that just get a lot of value. And thanks for watching. Hope to be producing more content soon, and I hope you found the deck profile informative and you've got some value out of it. If you have, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the Discord server down below for interaction with other members of the community. And if you want some deck advice, you can talk to me about that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.